Like so many things in computing these days, it's all about the smart features. And they're great when they work. But when they don't, you're left just waiting for the machine to fix itself. And that's exactly where I was with my home Wi-Fi, thanks Google, until this D-Link system showed up. Its full name is the D-Link M15 Eagle Pro AI AX1500, but we'll just call it the M15. Since it is 2022, the M15 has its own smart features, but here's the beauty of it. It has the same HTML config pages that routers and modems have had for decades. That means that if the smarts aren't working, you can go in and replace the smarts with some options that might fix your trouble. In my case, the best option is usually just to turn these things off. I live in a Wi-Fi hostile area with double bricks and networks on almost every side. And while this meant Google Wi-Fi failed to mesh, for the M15 it was mostly okay, but the network did tend to regularly go down for a minute once or twice a day. Basically, this made the M15 reliably unreliable. And as an added bonus, when it did fall over, it took the wired Ethernet connections with it. I asked D-Link why this was happening, and they sent across a beta firmware build that mostly fixed things. There's a couple of reasons why this is good. It means the firmware is being actually developed, and more importantly, you can update the firmware yourself. And if a bad firmware build ever appears, you can stop the router from auto-updating to it. After previously living in the Google knows best world, having these options is absolutely dreamlike. Now, the Eagle Pro AI app is not great, and it never remembers my login, and it's flaky. But it's not a deal breaker because the old school HTML interface is still there, and I'd say you should use that as much as possible and only go into the app when you absolutely have to. Another thing that D-Link has on its side is cost. The 3-pack from Google costs 550 Australian dollars, where the M15 3-pack costs 350 Australian dollars. My situation with the M15 system is not perfect, but it is improving. Perhaps there is a combination of settings that will prevent the repeater units occasionally dropping off the network, because when this network fires on all cylinders, it is very good. For now though, the ability to replace AI smarts with some proper human dumbness and take charge of the network myself, that's enough.